Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to Radio Works World. This is Danielle Serpico, aka the Black Belt Mastermind, all the way from Ireland. Yeah, welcome to Radio Works. I'm delighted to have you here. I hope you're going to enjoy the show because I have some wonderful information to share with you today. So, as usual, I'm delighted and inspired to be here and re-motivated and re-inspired by the incredible Marina Nani, our fabulous connector. And yeah, I've had a good chat with her yesterday and this morning, and we've been talking about a few bits and bobs that will be coming up very soon. So to give you a little bit of an idea of what we'll be talking about shortly, probably in September, so I'll tell you more about that later. I want to talk to you a little bit about a topic that's very close to my heart and my mind. Okay, so I'm a mind coach and an NLP trainer, which means that I help you to use your brain rather than your brain using you. Okay, I spent an awful lot of my life doing that, allowing my brain, actually 36 years of my life, allowing my brain to utilize and use me rather than me actually realizing and being aware that in fact it worked the other way around. And when I discovered that, it was amazing. Okay, most of us say things such as, I can't do that, I could never be that type of person, that's not me, this is just the way it is. It's different for that person. It's okay for you because you've had such and I have not. So if you find that you ever say those sentences, I want you to stop and pay attention. Okay? Because what you've been doing is you've programming your mind negatively. You're actually hypnotizing yourself. So if you believe hypnosis does not work, okay, up to now you can start to think that, in fact, you've been hypnotizing yourself because that's what you've been doing. You've been programming yourself to feel and think a certain way because your words, the words that you say internally and the words that you say externally to others have an effect. Those words will cause a reaction, will cause thoughts, will cause feelings, and hence will lead to your actions. And those actions will lead to your destiny. It's as simple as that. Now, I spent a lot of my life saying things to myself that had a negative effect. And the result of that was that I felt bad. And the result of that was I didn't do things the way I really wanted to do them because I didn't have confidence or I didn't have the self-belief to go ahead and do that. So that changed when I started to learn about how your mind actually works. And I discovered that we program our brains. So one of my favorite quotes is, you get more of what you focus on. Now, you may have heard of that before, but often what we do is we tend to repeat these sentences and say, oh, that's interesting, and then we forget about it and carry on with our lives. I was in a very bad way at 36 years of age, and I kind of wanted to end my life. I had closed down my businesses. I had been an entrepreneur, and I had 3 different restaurants, and I wanted to end it all because I went bust. I went bankrupt with the recession and some mistakes at the time, which in fact ended up to be the start and the beginning of a whole new life. But I didn't realize it at the time. So when I started reading books to help myself to pick myself back up, I came across quotes such as, we get more of what we focus on. But instead of simply reading it and going, oh, that's interesting, I really, really thought about it over and over and over again until it really started to sink in and I understood what it meant. And I had some incredible moments with that. Okay, so think about it. I wrote a blog recently because I'd been talking to somebody and they seemed very negative. They kept on saying things like, oh, I think everyone's out to get me. You know, people aren't very nice, are they, Danielle? She would say. I'd say, really? And she would say things like, oh, everyone just is out for themselves. I go, okay. And she'd say things like, everyone I've met always seems to let me down. And they're always have something up their sleeve, and they always have an alternative want or need out of me. They just want to get something out of me. So I listened and listened and listened. And she kept on saying things like that were completely programming herself, because we have something that causes us to do that automatically. We have something that's called confirmation bias. And psychologically, it works like this. You see your one over there? She's looking at me funny. Watch her. Okay? I know she doesn't like me. So you look and you look and you look and you go, see? There you go. There's the proof. Did you see that funny look? Did you see it? She doesn't like me. And in fact, you know what? We feel good about that. We get a little bit of a feel-good factor for being right, because we don't like to be wrong. Okay? We all like to be right. That's what confirmation bias is. Our want to be right, even when it's not actually beneficial for us. That's why we stay in unhappy relationships. That's why we stay in abusive, relationships with people. We stay in jobs that we hate, because we like to be right. We say things such as, well, this is probably the most logical thing to do. This is the safe bet. I don't think I can do any better. Okay? Nobody's perfect. All of these kind of things. We program ourselves and we want to look for the evidence. So we continue to look and look and look until confirmation bias kicks in. Now, what's really interesting about that, when I read that, I said, okay, so how can I make this work to my favor? So how can you actually improve your life right now by using this? Okay, here's how. You wake up in the morning. You've all heard of a gratitude list, yeah? You all maybe have a notebook by your bedside where you write down every day 3 things that you're grateful for. Here's the trick. Write down in advance 3 things that you're going to be grateful for. Okay, in advance. So you wake up in the morning, you pick up your notepad and you say, I'm going to be grateful for talking to an amazing person today. I'm going to be grateful for the food I'm going to eat. I'm going to be grateful for being able to go for a walk in the park. Whatever it is, you write down 3 things. And then you know what happens? When you go and do it, you feel really good, because confirmation bias has kicked in. That's how your brain works. It'll give you a little dose of serotonin, endorphins, feel good factor, and you will feel good. And the more you do that, the more you start to feel happiness. Okay, and the more you want to do it. It's a knock-on effect. So instead of doing your gratitude list, do it, by all means, do it at nighttime for what you were grateful for that day, but plan in advance also. Use your brain effectively. If you don't use the muscle, it's not going to work for you. Okay, it's going to just go the other way around, into autopilot, like flying a plane. Okay, who actually flies the plane? Do you put it in autopilot? Okay. Or do you actually take control back of the plane? So do that. So another thing, this all relates back to the quote, you get more of what you focus on. Now, this lady that I've been speaking to and seemed to have a negative perspective on people in general, she didn't really see the good in people. She didn't really see the beauty in people, because she'd trained her mind so much, she'd hypnotized herself into believing that people were all bad. And she repeated those sentences around and around in her head so often that she was constantly looking for the evidence. You get more what you focus on, right? So she was constantly looking for the negative, for the moment when they would prove her right and go and hurt her, upset her, break her heart, do something nasty, all of that stuff. She was looking for the evidence. So instead, I decided to do it the other way around. I decided instead to use it to my advantage, just like the gratitude list, and focus on getting more of what I wanted in life. So I would look at people, and the first thing I would do, I would start searching for what was beautiful about them. Okay? Now, I'm not talking about just aesthetically. on the outside. Of course, that's wonderful too. You can look for the beauty in them outside. You can look for the beautiful eyes. You can look for a wonderful smile and all of that. Fantastic. Then you start to look deeper. Then you start to look into their eyes and start to see what's inside. And you search until you find it. Okay. And you see, oh, I can see this person is smart. This person has passion. This person has a kindness inside. This person has empathy. This person has understanding. So I trained myself to focus in and hone right in on that, so that every single person I met, the first thing I would do automatically is look for the beauty inside. Okay. And you know what that did for me? It made my life better. Okay. It has a knock-on effect. You get more of what to focus on. So now, instead of being surrounded by a world of people who are out to get me, like the way it used to be up until I was 36 years of age and I ran my own business. Everybody was out to get me. People were all out for themselves. I would be looking. Unbeknownst to myself, I wasn't aware at that point that confirmation bias was in play, and I was searching for the negative. I was waiting and waiting to be proved right that this person was out for themselves. So I would search for that. Now instead, I search for the other. I look for the evidence and the proof that I'm right, that there's something incredible about this person. And you know what happens? You get more of that because you get more of what you focus on. And that way, you go and you meet incredible people. That's how things change. You start to take proactive action, and all of a sudden, they say you're the sum of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Now, the most wonderful people I have in my life are people like Marina, Nani, and you see the beauty in her, right? Okay, so you surround yourself by these people, okay, because you're focusing on it, you're searching for it, you see it, you have a vision that is, instead of blinkered, has now suddenly opened up and your world is wider, okay? So that would be my advice for today. A little tip on mindset. It will improve your life, it'll improve your relationships, it'll improve your friendships, it'll improve everything. Is to start focusing on what's beautiful and start looking for that inside people and in the world in general, and you'll get more of it. Okay, so I'm not actually sure how much time we're gone there. I know Marina Nani is in the background. They're probably listening in, and we wanted to talk a little bit also about, because I'll be talking more about this. This is the subject and kind of the subjects that I talk about on my workshops and trainings. So I teach NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, how your mind works more effectively for you, okay? And that is kind of some of the stuff that I would like to talk with you about in September when I come over to London for the Radio Works evening event. And we'll talk a little bit more about that. So another small little subject, very briefly, that somebody else asked me recently about was the difference between confidence and arrogance. And this person may have been struggling a little bit with that. Now, I'm half Irish and half Italian. So the Italian side is very passionate. The Irish side, we tend to be more afraid to say that we are amazing. We tend to hold back. We tend to be more reserved, okay? When I started to meet people and say, they'd say, how are you? A typical Irish response is, oh, I'm fine, I'm grand, not too bad. Wow, not too bad. Think about where your focus goes when you say that sentence. I'm not too bad, okay? Remember, your unconscious mind does not process a negative. Think about it, okay? When I started to say, you know what? I'm awesome. You know what? I am fantastic today. The response was kind of like, whoa. At the start, they look at you and they kind of go, what's wrong with that one? Is she crazy? Okay. Oh, or she's full of herself. Oh, she thinks she's amazing. Okay. But then second or third time round, they start to kind of go, wow, that's interesting. She's always happy. She's always smiling. Why are you amazing? What did you do? They start asking. They want to be included. They want to get involved. They feed off your energy. Okay. And again, remember, you get more what you focus on. okay, they start to be attracted, because like attracts like. You're pulling out the awesomeness, you're pulling out all those wonderful qualities from inside of them, okay, and bringing them with you. So the difference between confidence and arrogance, I believe, is confidence comes from within. Confidence is something that you're focusing on from inside. You're focusing on yourself, in the sense of you're not comparing yourself to others. You're comparing yourself every day into being maybe a little bit better than you were yesterday. Okay, you just feel good being you. It comes from inside. It's an attitude. Okay, arrogance instead comes from trying to be better than somebody else. Okay, confidence is more quiet. Arrogance is louder. Confidence is more, yeah, I just am. Arrogance is, I have to tell you that I'm this and I want you to believe me. Okay. It's forcing it on somebody. It's trying to prove something. Okay. So again, it comes back to what you're focused on. Are you focusing today on being the best that you can be? Or are you focusing today on trying to prove a point to somebody else? Think about where your intention goes. Think about what the focus is on. Okay. Is it improving you? Or is it trying to impress? There's a big difference, right? Okay, so that is all of those subjects, and how we program ourselves and how we think and how we talk to ourselves are some of the subjects that I talk about on my trainings. And Marina, you're welcome to join us at any point now as well. I know that we're going to be doing an event in September. I think it's on the 5th of September, Tuesday, the 5th of September, if I'm correct, in London. And I will be talking a lot more about that. And if you would like any specific issues addressed, if you would like to talk about a particular aspect of mindset to help you in a certain area, I would love to help. You can tell me and I can talk about that on the night, or I can address your questions privately if you prefer. Or of course, I'd love you to come along and meet myself and Marina and get involved, and yeah, ask us there and get to meet us, and we will have a really, really good time. Marina, have you any thoughts on all of this?
Oh my God, Danielle, I'm so grateful you are here. You know, you are the dream coming true. You know how many times I wrote on my um, end in mind diary. Danielle is going to share her Stardust in the Stardust show. So
Brilliant.
it's happening.
I'm so
If
excited.
you wonder why you are here, it's because I wrote it so many times.
Fantastic.
And you know, at all our events, I always keep a chair next to me. And people are asking, "Is this free?" I said, "No, it's taken." And they look at me like, "This is a mad woman. There's nobody on this chair." So eventually, we add more tables as more people are coming each week, and I still keep that chair empty. And perhaps I should write on it Danielle Serpico, so people don't think I lost it completely.
Brilliant. I'm really excited. Did I get the date right? It is the 5th of September.
Yes, yes, it is. So I think what the thought that comes to mind um, when I think of what you do and how you share your stardust and how many people you help and how much passion you have for exploring, helping people to explore their own mind and the endless possibilities, brings to mind what Buddha said: the mind is everything. What you think, you become. Is that
Absolutely.
simple?
Absolutely. I mean, every single thing that is created, okay, from man had to be created twice, right? Had to be created first inside our mind before it became reality. Everything, think about it. Every single thing that you see around you that is man made was created first in here, okay? So if you haven't got that right, how can anything happen? Okay, it's all about setting your intention and starting your day correctly. Okay, going to bed at night and first thing in the morning are your two most important moments of the day. Okay, because that is the link, that is the moment before you cross between your conscious and into your unconscious mind. So before you go to bed every night, for example, I always fall asleep visualizing. I always fall asleep visualizing being in the present tense, walking, feeling it with all my senses, with my smell, with my taste, with my hearing, with my feeling, with my sight, all your senses, utilize all of them and be in the experience that you want to be in. Okay. Any kind of goals or thoughts that you'd like to achieve, maybe it's writing a book, maybe it's coming to our event in September, whatever it is, like walking on the red carpet, whatever event that it is, whatever goal that you have in mind, okay, see it happening and feel it as if it's happening right now. Okay. When you do that, you've started the ball rolling. Okay. Because your unconscious mind does not know the difference between what's real or imagined. So it believes it's happened. So when you meet somebody that has when you meet somebody that has motivation, that has that drive, that has that passion, and they keep going no matter what, okay? Like Marina, Nani. I mean, people say it to me also. People say to me, wow, where do you get the energy from? How do you keep going? Okay? It's because I'm not trying. I just am. It's because I visualized it inside first, okay? And my unconscious mind does not know that it's actually not happened. So what happens then is it just keeps going because that's the life that it thinks it's leading. Okay. And there's also another bias, which I'll tell you about at Radio Works World. Okay. I'll tell you more about that. That makes you motivated, that makes you driven, that makes you passionate. So I'll keep you in a little bit of suspense for that one. Okay. But if you want more motivation in life, okay, if you want the get up and go to go and do something, okay, there's a great psychological bias that you can utilize to full effect, okay, that'll make you take your life to the next level. Okay, so it all starts from within with mindset. I mean, it's really, really simple. It's common sense. Think about it. If you wake up in the morning and you feel bad, do you get things done? Okay. Do you wake up in the morning? Do you look at the ceiling and do you go, oh no, here we go again, another day? Okay. How do you plan for your day? Okay. Because you've started inside already. Okay. If you don't believe you've done it, think about it. Have you ever done this? And be honest with yourself. Have you woken up in the morning ever, looked up at the ceiling and gone, oh no, another day. I have to go to work. I have to do this. I have a big long commute. I have all this work. And I know by 10 o'clock tonight, I'm going to be absolutely shattered. If you've done that, and I would bet that you have, then you've planned to be miserable. Okay, we've all done it. Okay, so it's really, really simple. If you can plan to be miserable, okay, then you can plan to be happy. Okay, and have more success. So instead, you wake up in the morning, you say, you know what? I'm excited. Today, fabulous things are going to happen. Today, I'm going to experience new things. I'm going to meet wonderful people. I'm going to have these wonderful things happen. Okay, I'm going to do X, Y, and Z. I'm going to get my gratitude list out, and I'm going to be grateful for simply being able to breathe. I'm going to be grateful for simply having no pain. I'm going to be grateful for simply being able to see or feel or whatever it is, being able to talk. Okay, be grateful for those things and you'll get more of them, as I said earlier. So it all starts from within, as Marina has already said. So yeah, plan well. Okay, there's a great quote that says, disappointment takes adequate planning. Think about it. So what do you plan to do with your day for the rest of the day today? Do you plan for it to go well, or do you plan for it to go badly? Because it all starts in here, right? Am I correct, Marina?
Absolutely accurate. When we're talking over the years, start with the end in mind. Everything happens twice,
Yeah.
first in your mind and then into your own reality. People were starting paying attention to that, and eventually now that saying is turning to start with the end in mind. Everything happens twice, first at Radio Works World and then in your own reality. And I had actually people putting this new quote on Facebook, and I'm thinking, blimey, it's happening. And there were times when I was in my mind was very clear that I have this moral duty to help at least one person a day, total stranger. Because what happens when you help a total stranger, you discover yourself, you discover your limitless dimension, you discover that you could not only help yourself but help others, and that is an amazing feeling. It's all
Yeah.
about your emotions, how that makes you feel. And
Yes.
I realized that looking at the population of the world, which is 7.4 billion people, and there are about 50,000 practitioners, uh, people who help with personal development, not that are trying, but really this is their livelihood, this is their life mission, this is their calling. So I realized that my fair slice of work in my lifetime is about 148,000 people. So last year, I realized that I helped through coaching, through the radio shows, just over 1,000 people. So then I thought, blimey, when I'm going to when I'm going to get another 140 years to be able to coach my fair slice of people on this planet. And I thought, okay, I have to increase the number. How I'm going to reach out for more people to help each other. How I'm going to make this possible, because I don't feel is impossible. I feel it is possible, but I just need to find the right way of helping others. So then we started the Stardust Academy. So there we go. I don't need to live another 140 years to teach the share of my um, moral duty to fulfill that. So I just need to teach the teachers.
Mhm.
So now we are growing. We have people in so many countries. We have shows which are running. Everybody's running their own show. I think we have over 67 countries now. We are going to add. I'm very excited about this show in Singapore, which it will start at the beginning of July. So
Brilliant.
so everybody who is there to fulfill something that they have it in their heart, they have it in their mind, but sounds crazy. I have to tell you this is not. It's absolutely possible. And all you have to do is to start sharing your stardust. Because you, Danielle, you are stardust.
Mhm.
Thank you for being here with us. And I can't wait for 5th of September, when we hopefully we will um, have the whole floor at the Crown Plaza,
Yeah.
and every single seat will be taken, because we are inviting you to a red carpet experience. There are many times in life circumstances when you feel that it's too much. I can't change my circumstances. And quite right, you can't change the circumstances you are in. And I've been there. I know exactly how that is and how that feels. However, you do have the ability as a human being to change your words, to
Yeah.
change your thoughts.
Oh,
So,
absolutely.
so Daniel, tell us a little bit more about the power of the words.
Well, I remember, I mean, it's something that I call the rule of 49. Okay. Sometimes we have to hear something, unfortunately, sometimes is the way it works. Sometimes it works instantly. Okay. And very, very fast. But sometimes we have to hear something 49 times before on the 50th time it finally clicks and sinks in. So all of these quotes, like Marina saying, you get more of what you focus on, everything happens twice, first inside our minds and then reality. Sometimes it's not until we hear it over and over again that we finally get it, right? And I remember the moment that I got it, the moment I really heard how I spoke to myself inside, and how I realized, oh wow, that's really not benefiting me. I had understood it intellectually before. And I, of course, would say to people, oh, of course, it's not good what we say to ourselves. And we all have conversations like that. But I didn't do anything about it because I hadn't got it inside. Because there's a difference between understanding something intellectually and understanding something experientially. And that is why I fully not just believe, I know from experience, I know from my personal experience, and I know from doing this with other people, the power of actually putting yourself into an event. Okay, you can read all the books you want, and they help. They do help, but they don't necessarily always take action. may help you to take action. Think about it. How many books have you read? And how many books have you started reading and maybe stopped, or read and went, that's interesting, but then didn't follow through? Okay. The difference between going to an event is an actual experience. And what happens is in your brain, that affects you chemically in a different way. Because think about this question. Okay. What comes easier to mind? What you had for dinner, for example, last Saturday, or your first kiss? Okay, I'm guessing it's probably your first kiss. Now, why is that? Because there was more emotion, right? Because your brain recognized that as an emotive, eventful occurrence. When that happens, it stores it to the front of your brain and causes you to feel differently about it. Okay, so when you go to an event, such as coming along to the Radio Work event in September, your brain will chemically take in this information in a different way. It'll go, oh, wow, we're here, we're actually experiencing it. Okay, and that is one of the reasons why, for example, getting you involved at the event really matters. Okay, I mean, I have a radio show that's called Mind Matters. Okay, think about the wording, why that's important. Your mind matters, mind matters, mind matters. Okay, so when you actually take action by coming, your brain is already going, confirmation bias, it's already going, okay, we're doing this, I'm important. It means I am important. It means I'm taking care of myself. It means I matter. Okay, it means I am doing something because I believe in myself. I'm taking action. So you're already setting the ball rolling. Then you come in to the event, you get up on stage, you interact, all of that. Your brain is taking all that in. Okay, it's computing it in a different way than static, than 2D, than simply reading something off a page. Now you've been to an event, now you're part of it, now you're in it, now you're doing it. Okay, you're walking on the red carpet, you're getting your pictures taken, you're listening to the words in a different way, because when I speak, I'm not just speaking to you on one level, I'm speaking to your unconscious mind, because my language that I use is very particular. Okay, because obviously I'm a hypnotist. Okay, so I'm hypnotizing you. So when you come to these events, and I'm pretty sure Marina knows how to use a lot of these tricks very well as well, she knows how to use smart language, but we'll teach you this. We'll teach you how to use your mind more effectively for you, more beneficially for you, so you feel good, and also beneficially for the effect that you have on others. So you can bring this with you out of the event and into the real world also. So it's proactive. It really, really works. Okay, so that's my thoughts on that, Marina.
Oh, thank you so much, Daniel. So, for our listeners, is almost like you are going to a movie and you have to go there and you are excited about the movie. Hopefully, you never seen before. It's a new movie, yes.
Yeah,
And you grab your bag of popcorns and your drink, and you sit there and wait for the magic to start happening in front of your very eyes. What we are doing, we are not just creating events, we are delivering together
yeah,
the experience of red carpet. So instead of watching somebody else's movie, you start producing your own movie for the same price.
yeah,
It is £29. So you come along, you walk on the red carpet, you are interviewed on the red carpet. We have media coming, we have um, all the people who supposed to be in your life already there. All the people you need in your life are already there. And you start producing your own movie. When you go home, you might start pinching yourself thinking, this really happened or it was in a dream. And actually, we are going to give you your set of branded photographs, which are your to keep and yours to use for your personal branding. So
mhm,
you, my friend, it's not that you become a star because you are a star already. You start sharing your stardust.
mhm,
You start sharing the best of you. You start being and feeling the best of you. This is the purpose of us getting together on the red carpet on the 5th of September with the one and only Danielle Serpico. From both of us, until next time, and it's going to be a next time before 5th of September, goodbye. Share your Stardust.
Bye.